Deputy Speaker, there is no more appropriate day for me to be speaking on this MPI than my son's 3rd birthday. Today, Leo turned 3. Happy birthday, Leo. I'm not going to sing, but I will say that it's an exciting day for him and it's a very proud day for me and Jess. Leo has benefited, like millions of Australian children, from a quality early childhood education. And Jess and I have benefited from the support that you receive from early childhood educators who allow you to follow your passions in life and vocations and careers. And I want to make sure that every Australian family can have access to quality early childhood education. Working families get the importance of this. The member for Kingston gets the importance of this. But it is amazing to see that the arguments against this, there is no passion. It comes down to this sort of dollars and cents approach from the government that has created $1 trillion of debt, but all of a sudden they can't afford to support families or working parents. Working parents understand this childcare cap. They get it. They know the cost of the 4th or the 5th day. And if people do not understand how this system works, go and ask someone who has kids in childcare. Yep. They understand it and they'll explain to you exactly how they make the calculations of whether they will work the 4th or the 5th day. This is bracket creep on steroids, the system that this government is trying to defend right now. It proves just how out of touch they are with working Australian families. What they've decided to do instead is, instead of say that childcare is too expensive, they've just tried to increase the cost of everything else. They increased the cost of university degrees to try and bring them closer to the high childcare fees that they seem to be entirely comfortable with. Labor's plan is clear: a more productive workforce, more early childhood education for children, more money in the pockets of working families, and, of course, respecting the choice that parents should have as to whether they choose to look after their children at home, whether they choose to go into the workforce, and indeed how much they choose to participate in the workforce. And all of these things are only possible because of the quality early childhood educators and childcare centres in our country. In my electorate of Perth alone, there are 62 centres. We add another 2 or 3 every single year because there is increasing demand despite the financial disincentives for many thousands of parents. And I also do want to say a huge thank you to the early childhood educators, 161,000 of them in Australia. Wow. This is a huge sector. It is a huge workforce. And those opposite should remember that when they talk about this sector, they're also talking about thousands of people in their electorates who work in this sector, doing incredibly difficult work day in and day out. The member for Kingston referenced Beck, who is in Perth, and I asked the Prime Minister about Beck, who has 2 children and a household income of $193,000. She is one of the thousands of Australian families who lose money if they work a 4th or a 5th day, even though it would be good for her career as a solicitor if she could work those extra days. And of course, when you ask the Prime Minister about something he doesn't like, he instead just throws insult after insult to the Labor Party. We didn't get a serious answer, and we still don't have a serious answer as to why the Liberal Party thinks this is not a good idea. I think the only reason they don't think it's a good idea is because they didn't come up with it. And this is a serious issue for so many families in Perth. I posted the Prime Minister's response from Question Time to my Facebook page, and the responses were not happy. Lana said, "Please push this. My young family with 2 kids can't afford to go to work either." And Nicole said, "He totally just avoided your question and went to justifying the Liberals' debts." The Liberals' $1 trillion of debts. $1 trillion and nothing for childcare. That's a lot of dollar bucks when you don't find a single cent for childcare. And the Prime Minister says that he's pleased with the system. Remember, he told us he was proud of it. He, quote, said, "I am so pleased, having been directly involved in structuring these reforms. So for every working parent where this system doesn't work, just know the Prime Minister's hand was on every single error in the current system." He did sometimes admit his mistakes. It's been a while since we talked about his much-promised nannies program, where he was going to fund nannies in the home. Apparently they had enough money for that, but not enough money to make the childcare system more affordable. The Productivity Commission we've heard about, good enough to look at the Liberal Party's plans, not good enough to look at others. And who knows the truth? The West Australian newspaper knows the truth. ALP daycare
The member's
plan
time
works
has
for
expired. The member